Hey, hey, hey. Last Sunday at the Link was such a wonderful and awesome day. Welcome to the show. That come from behind win versus the Rams very well may be the most epic win in Birds history. With the exception of their 2 Super Bowl victories, of course. It's time for my breakdown. This game was truly a tale of 2 halves. The Eagles offense managed a measly 33 total yards in 30 minutes of play. Jalen and Saquon combined for 34 yards rushing on 12 carries, and Jalen was just 4 for 8 for 17 yards, but was sacked twice for minus 18 yards. That's minus 1 yard of passing in the entire first half. Unbelievable. The offense was 0 for 6 on third downs and compiled 4, count them again, 4 first downs. One of them came by penalty. Geez, that is absolutely difficult for any football team to do. The defense didn't fare much better, yielding 212 first half yards, 115 through the air, and 97 on the ground. The only positive thing about the first half was that the defense held the Rams' offense to 4 field goals and just 1 touchdown for 19 points, keeping the offense within striking distance. The Birds got the first possession of the second half, and after Matt Pryor whiffed on his block on a pass play, Jalen was blindsided and fumbled the ball, giving the Rams the ball on the Eagles' 10-yard line. It took all of 1 play for Stafford to connect with Kyron Williams on the 10-yard touchdown pass, and the lead ballooned to 26-7. Then all of a sudden, the Birds flipped the switch. The offense went 5 plays, 79 yards, 13 plays, 87 yards, 17 plays, 91 yards, all for touchdowns, and then Jordan Davis, looking like Carl Lewis, blocked the field goal, scooped and scored from 61 yards out to seal the comeback. Jalen was epic. He went 20 of 28 for 201 yards in the second half alone, connecting on touchdowns to Dallas Goedert from 33 yards, A.J. Brown from 9 yards, and Smitty from 4 yards to take their first lead of the game, 26-27. The defense also flipped the script. They held Stafford to 111 yards passing in the second half, and the Rams' rushing attack to 18 yards and 1 first-half interception by Zach Bond that set up the Goddard touchdown. While Bond had a good day overall, Jordan Davis has elevated his game in a major way. His stat line reads like this: 5 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit, and of course, the blocked field goal and the touchdown. The big fella has lost 25 to 30 pounds and transformed himself into the player the Eagles hoped he would be when they drafted him in the first round. Jalen Hurts finally silenced his critics. As far as the passing game is concerned, he was effective and efficient. A.J. Brown, 109 yards. Devontae Smith, 60 yards. Dallas Goedert, 33 yards. It seems to me that Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni may have decided to unleash Hurts in the passing game, allowing the offense to flourish. If the offense can maintain this level of production, along with the steady production and advancement of this young defense, this team could go on a run similar to last year. All they do is win. That's 19-1 over the last 20 games. Both units look entirely different from the first half to the second. And I have no idea what was said or discussed at halftime, but Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, and Nick Fangio need to reiterate that same message in pregame for the rest of the season. It's always hard to beat a team that believes in itself and refuses to ever give up. That's my breakdown. After this break, my co-host of the Verizon pre- and post-game show on YouTube and 6abc.com on the Seth Joyner Show's channel, Derrick Gunn joins me to talk the Birds' dramatic come-from-behind victory.
I know what you're thinking. Total glow-up. What's her secret? Fine, I'll spill. I totally upgraded with Verizon. Everyone gets a free phone with any plan, even if you're already a customer, like me. Now I have Google Gemini. It's like a little glam squad in my pocket. Gemini, what eye makeup goes with this lipstick?
I'd suggest a classic cat eye.
Wow, setting the bar high for daycare pickup. Get in on this.
Successful business owners love the path of least resistance. And here at Mid-Penn Bank, our focus is to make sure that happens. Whether it's consumer lending, commercial lending, your wealth, your insurance, all of your planning, we want to make sure that whatever you're doing, we're looking at it holistically and taking care of you. So reach out to someone from our team today.
Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
Gentlemen, are you ready for a wardrobe update? Introducing Divine Nine's Custom Menswear, your clothier for truly unique, custom-made threads. With Divine Nine, you can design your own one-of-a-kind suit, jacket, slacks, shirts, golf pants, and shorts, perfectly handcrafted by our skilled artisans who will bring your vision to life. Prepare to stand out from the crowd with Divine Nine's Custom Clothier, official clothier of Seth Joyner. Custom clothing made for you.
Since 1893, Weber Display and Packaging has been Pennsylvania's leading manufacturer of corrugated packaging and displays. We're family owned with 4 Philadelphia locations, 2 converting facilities, a warehouse, and a fulfillment center. Designed through delivery, we exceed customer needs. Weber Display and Packaging, our core values drive everything we do. Come join our team. This segment is brought to you by Verizon Communications. Welcome back. Derrick Gunn, one of my game day partners, is here to help us evaluate further the Birds beating the Rams and turning a negative of 2.5 games into a positive. D, how about that comeback?
You know, if you are faint of heart, then the Eagles games are not for you through the first 3 games of the season. But the bottom line is, 3 different types of comeback wins or defining ways to sustain and overcome adversity. At this stage of a season, it's good to be in that situation and to have these type of adversities, especially when you have so much youth on the defensive side of the football, the youngest starting defense in the National Football League, because this will only help them as it gets down to crunch time when it comes to late November and December. But I tell you what, man, I have a feeling that this is going to be the Eagles' MO for the rest of the season, especially when you look at their schedule and the caliber of opponents they're facing. I think we're going to have a whole lot of nail biters like this each and every week, Seth.
Well, listen, let's start with Jalen Hurts. He's filing silence on some of his doubters, at least for a week. Or do you think that, this is still a wait-and-see situation for him?
It's a wait and see for the outside pundits who look in, because they still won't give Jalen his due. You and I talk about this all the time. I've been sold on Jalen Hurts as a leader for a long time now. We can't measure his attributes in a huddle, on the sideline, in practice and film session by statistics. Unfortunately, we are so swamped in our own minds with statistics make a quarterback. No, it doesn't. And as we've seen that, you don't have to throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns to be successful as a quarterback in the National Football League. Those who watch him closely will give him his due, but a lot of people are still indifferent towards him. I've never seen anything like this when it comes to a quarterback and who all he does is just win. But he does what he has to do at that particular moment to get the job done, to sustain drives, to get his team in the end zone, and that's the bottom line. During that game Sunday, after the game, I should say, a lot of people wondered who was calling the plays in the second half. Was it Kevin Patullo? Was it Jalen? Well, Nick Sirianni came out in his press conference on Monday and he said Kevin Patullo calls the plays, but Jalen has such an awareness on the field that he does have input. And that's the kind of relationship you want between an OC and your franchise quarterback.
Well, listen, Jalen made reference in one of his press conferences to playing to win instead of playing not to lose. A lot of people don't put a lot of credence into that, that quote. But I'm telling you right now, it has to in some ways shed some light on why they've called plays the way that they've called plays to this point of the season.
Yeah, it's obvious they still very much want to try to establish a run game. And like I said before the season started, when I was talking to you and Mark Forzetta prior to one of our shows, our pregame shows, I don't think Saquon's going to come close to 2,000 yards. And obviously after 3 games, I'll stand by that. If he still has 1,300 yards this season, that's still a great season for a running back. But as we saw in the second half, I think they're going to have to alter their plan just a little bit because their next opponent, Tampa Bay, is very good against the run. They're not going to let Saquon just run up and down the field on them, which means Jalen may have to come out and Kevin Patullo may have to come out throwing the football more than they want to initially to loosen up that Tampa Bay defense, a Todd Bowles defense that gives the Eagles fits each and every time they play them. But you got to loosen up that type of defense somehow. The passing game, if it works the way it did against the Rams in the second half, that's the perfect way to loosen up that Tampa Bay defense to allow the Eagles offensive line to find some seams for Saquon to run through.
Now, D, the defense, after the first half of mental and assignment mistakes, they dominated in the second half. Is this a turning point for this unit, or is this another one of those wait and see? But they've been playing a little more consistent than the offense has.
I don't think that where Vic Fangio wants them to be yet, Seth. I think it's still a maturation process in the makings. Each and every week, they do something a little bit better and a little bit better. It may take 2 or 3 more games before basically they develop some type of identity. Go back to last season. First 4 games, we didn't know what this defense was. They go to the bye week, they come out of the bye week, and they're lights out from that point on. So I think with the new collection of players that they're weaving in and out of this particular defense, I think the same thing is status quo. It's going to take a little bit while, maybe a couple of more games, before this defense solidifies itself and find its identity, because they do still have some communication issues on the back end of that defense. And luckily, when you have problems and adversity, if you can stack up W's more than the L's, that bodes well for your unit.
All right, now, you know I like accountability, my friend. I got to give Jordan Davis, some love. I stand corrected. Along with a lot of other people, I was of the opinion he had already reached his ceiling and he was what he was. It's pretty apparent that the big fella has turned the corner and looks to be a major force on this defense.
I will go so far as to say that Jordan Davis, not Jalen Carter, has been the rock of stability on that defense. You look at three games, he has been consistent. He has played way more plays than any of us thought he would play. He has been a dominant force in the trenches. He has disrupted running plays. He's pushing back the line of scrimmage, upsetting quarterback's rhythm and foot placement when they step back to pass. Obviously, shedding 30 pounds has done him well. I mean, he picked up that blocked field goal and it looked like Carl Lewis going down the field. He said he had 18-plus miles an hour heading to the end zone. So, yes, I would say Jordan Davis has grown this year more than I thought he would.
You know, then maybe there's some credence to what Vic Fangio said last week about Jalen Carter not being in shape. Some of these things, you know what I'm saying, right? I mean, Nick Sirianni tried to come back, and gloss it over, but, the way that Jordan Davis is playing in comparison to how Jalen Carter's playing, and I'm not saying that Jalen Carter's playing bad at all. I'm just saying that he's not producing to the tune that Jordan Davis is. And I just want to give him his props. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I love old school coaches like Vic Fangio. There's not many of them left in the National Football League. These coaches' mindsets today is to treat a lot of these kids with kid gloves. Don't embarrass them in public. Don't disrupt their aura. But, Vic Fangio said, you know what? If you're not living up to what I expect you to live up to, I'm calling you out. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not a kid. You're not a kid playing college football anymore. You are a businessman playing in one of the richest, the richest sports conglomerate on the planet. You work for a major corporation. Yes, you are a professional athlete, but you are also a businessman. And like any other entity we do in life, if you are not living up to expectations, you're going to be called into the office or you're going to be called out. So I think Vic Fangio has the utmost respect from his players to the point where when it's like that old commercial when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Mm-hmm. When Vic talks, his players listen. And I think if nothing else, this will get Jalen Carter to say, you know what? He's right. The coach is right. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I got to get my butt in gear, get my butt in football shape to continue to help this defense be what we want it to be. I have no problem with Vic Fangio calling players out. When I talk to a lot of players, Seth, they've always told me, D-Gunn, I can't coach in today's game because you need 53 different psychologists to coach these kids nowadays. The mindset of these young men making 7-figure incomes. But the Vic Fangio said, you know what? All for one, one for all. I'm going to treat you all the same, treat you with respect. But when you're not doing what I expect you to do, you're going to hear about it, point blank.
Nothing wrong with that, my friend. Hey, listen, it's always a pleasure talking to Eagles with you. Thanks for your time. I'll see you Sunday for our pre- and post-game show as we prep for the Bucs.
Anytime for you, my brother.
All right. Up next, Brad Feinberg is here to help you set your fantasy and betting lineups for Week 4.
There's a number on the screen.
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 There is a number on the screen.
There's a number on the screen.
There's a number on the screen. There's a number on the screen.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
Since 1893, Weber Display and Packaging has been Pennsylvania's leading manufacturer of corrugated packaging and displays. We're family-owned with 4 Philadelphia locations, 2 converting facilities, a warehouse, and a fulfillment center. Designed through delivery, we exceed customer needs. Weber Display and Packaging. Our core values drive everything we do. Come join our team.
I know what you're thinking. Total glow up. What's her secret? Fine, I'll spill. I totally upgraded with Verizon. Everyone gets a free phone with any plan, even if you're already a customer, like me. Now I have Google Gemini. It's like a little glam squad in my pocket. Gemini, what eye makeup goes with this lipstick?
I'd suggest a classic cat eye.
Wow, setting the bar high for daycare pickup. Get in on this.
At MidPenn Bank, we believe in the power of community. We're not just another bank, we're your bank. We're also your neighbor. For over 150 years, we've been helping dreams come true, financing projects that make a difference locally. From small businesses to community centers, we're here to support what matters most to you, donating time and resources to strengthen the Philadelphia region. And when Philly's favorite superstars need a bank they can trust, they turn to MidPenn Bank just like you can. MidPenn Bank. Stronger communities, stronger futures. Let's build something great together.
This segment is brought to you by Recovery Unplugged. Welcome back. Brad Feinberg is here. Give him a follow on X at Brad's Best Bet for your weekly fantasy and betting tips. Brad, what an epic comeback by the Birds. Have you ever witnessed anything that exciting?
Well, for me, Seth, I don't know if the word was excited. I was happy the Eagles won. But on this airwaves, and I bet it, I had the Rams getting 4 points. Oh, Seth, you know what? As I said, there's no crying in baseball, Tom Hanks likes to say, but there is crying if you lose a tough point spread, Brett, like that. Jordan Davis, I love you, but why couldn't you just have gone down? But amazing comeback by the Eagles. I give them a lot of credit. It was a tremendous win.
All right, Brad, so let's get started on the fantasy side. Tell me your likes and your fades for Week 4.
Seth, I'm going to start out quarterback. You know, it's interesting. You know who the quarterback who's second in passing yardage is? It's Geno Smith. They've really struggled run blocking for Ashton Genty, facing a very, very poor Bears defense that has missing their entire secondary. Geno Smith's really cheap. I'm going to take a chance. Why not? Running back wise, Seth, I hate to do this, but I'm going to give you 2 guys because I couldn't decide between the 2. Omarion Hampton of the LA Chargers and Cam Scatterbo of the Giants are both extremely cheap. Those 2 are both great deals. Receiving wise, Seth, I'm going to go Chris Olave of the New Orleans Saints. We saw last week he got like 15 targets because they were getting blown out by Seattle. Guess what? They play Buffalo. Probably not going to be much better this week. Sign me up. And then defensively, Seth, the Tennessee Titans going against a Houston Texans offense to me, Seth, that's really bad.
All right, so give us your top 4 games, unders or overs, or prop bets for this week as well.
In terms of the games themselves, Seth, 4 games are on my board. I think the Ravens win this one. They've lost 2 tough games in a row at the end. I think they beat a Chiefs team. I just think they're better than them. Give me the Ravens laying less than a field goal. And we talked about just briefly the Titans against the Texans. And Seth, I like the Titans here getting 7.5 points. The Texans right now, Seth, gosh, I mean, they just cannot move the ball offensively. They have a horrible offensive line, no running game, not much explosiveness outside of Nico Collins. I think the Titans can keep this one relatively close. It's a very low total at 39.5. So I'm getting over a touchdown in a low total game like that, Seth. I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders pick 'em. I think the Raiders coming back home, tough game last week against Washington. I understand it, but they should have been close to a 2.5 point favorite. You could either even take one or pick them. I think the Raiders get on the winning track here, Seth. I like that. Next, Seth, we're going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, it comes with a caveat. It's +3. As of taping right now, I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to play. Now, if it is Mariota, which is what I'm expecting as of today, Seth, I expect a total bounce back here. I think they win this game outright if Marcus Mariota plays.
All right, my friend, as always, it's a pleasure to get your insights and to get your time. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Seth. Good luck to everyone out there.
All right. After this last pause, I'll share my final thoughts and predictions for the upcoming battle with the Birds' nemesis, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Since 1893, Weber Display and Packaging has been Pennsylvania's leading manufacturer of corrugated packaging and displays. We're family-owned with 4 Philadelphia locations, 2 converting facilities, a warehouse, and a fulfillment center. Designed through delivery, we exceed customer needs. Weber Display and Packaging. Our core values drive everything we do. Come join our team.
Gentlemen, are you ready for a wardrobe update? Introducing Divine Nine's Custom Menswear, your clothier for truly unique, custom-made threads. With Divine Nine, you can design your own one-of-a-kind suit, jacket, slacks, shirts, golf pants, and shorts, perfectly handcrafted by our skilled artisans who will bring your vision to life. Prepare to stand out from the crowd with Divine Nine's Custom Clothier, official clothier of Seth Joyner. Custom clothing made for you.
I know what you're thinking. Total glow up. What's her secret? Fine, I'll spill. I totally upgraded with Verizon. Everyone gets a free phone with any plan, even if you're already a customer, like me. Now I have Google Gemini. It's like a little glam squad in my pocket. Gemini, what eye makeup goes with this lipstick?
I'd suggest a classic cat eye.
Wow, setting the bar high for daycare pickup. Get in on this.
There's a number on the screen.
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 There's a number on the screen. There's a number on the screen.
There is a number on the screen.
There's a number on the screen.
There's a number on the screen. There's a number on the screen.
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Weber Display and Packaging. Welcome back. After probably the most epic comeback in Philadelphia Eagles history, Birds fans and media seem hopeful that this team has turned the preseason corner and is rounding into form. The resiliency of this team is something to behold. Even the national media is singing their praises. Now's the time to ignore the pats and praises because they could easily turn into stabs in the back. After all, the NFL is a what have you done for me lately league. Offensively, I understand why last year head coach Nick Sirianni made the decision to shift the focus to Saquon in order to minimize Jalen's turnover woes and find some balance in the offense. But now that teams have committed to slowing down number 26, it may be time to take the training wheels and tethers off of number 1 and allow him to cook a little bit. That in no way implies that Saquon should be ignored. Sometimes you need to pass to set up the run. Other times you have to run to set up the pass. One thing's for sure, this offensive unit can dominate any opponent any way necessary in order to get the W. Jalen, AJ, Dallas, Saquon, Jahan are a formidable problem for any defense to handle. The thing I love about Jalen is that he's willing to play any way necessary that allows the team to win. And I get the sense that as the passing game gets on track, Saquon will once again start getting on track as well. He's simply too good not to. The biggest positives is that Sirianni and Patullo are willing to change course, trusting Jalen to put the ball in the air 30-plus times if necessary, rather than continuing to stick with a plan that isn't productive. Defensively, the first half was not a physical thing. Players made mental and assignment mistakes that looked to be addressed at the half. I didn't see much change other than the attention to detail and much better communication across the board in the second half. Anytime you can hold a team like Stafford and the Rams to 7 points on a short field and 129 total yards in 30 minutes of football, that's winning football. When the D had to make plays, they got the job done in order to allow the offense to post points while they begin to close the gap. The entire defense played the second half lights out, with Jordan Davis and Zach Bond leading the way and being the obvious standouts. We can all see this young unit evolving before our very eyes. Combine that with an ascending offense, and you've got a winning formula. Kudos to the special teams coach, Michael Clay. They got to get that kickoff return straightened out, but obviously they saw something with the Rams field goal unit and took advantage of it with Jalen Carter's block and Jordan Davis' block and return to complete the comeback. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are up next. The Birds have lost 3 of the last 4 to Todd Bowles and the Bucs, and his blitzing defense has given Jalen fits. The Birds' offense will need to stay out of second and third and long situations. That's when Bowles likes to bring the pressure. Defensively, Vic Fangio will have his hands full devising a plan to control the Bucs' solid run game, Baker Mayfield, and Mike Evans and company. Last week was a stern test, but no doubt this battle will be even tougher. Nick and staff knows that this will be a major test for this young team. The schedule doesn't let up either. But when I see the Birds passing with flying colors, giving the Eagles for the win, 21-17, and a tightly contested matchup. That's the show for tonight. I'll see you next week as we post-view the Bucs game and preview Week 5's game when the Denver Broncos roll into the Link. Good night, Philadelphia, and fly, Eagles fly.